and welcome. You're watching the 7 o'clock news on CNC3. I'm Ria Rambali.
I'm Ryan Bachu.
I am Jassy Marik with sport.
And I'm Jean-Marc Rambasad with your weather. Let's
tell you what's making the news tonight. CPO tables 10% offer to NUGFW, costing taxpayers $2.6 billion.
Energy Chamber vows to reform STO to facilitate smaller companies as it looks to a brighter future.
Relatives of Joshua Samaru embark on their own investigation into the extrajudicial killing as they try to piece together his final moments.
Ahead in sport, Evan Lewis and Alzari Joseph are left out as Darren Sammy names his T20 World Cup squad.
We'll have a dry start to the week, but showers later on. I'll have the details in tonight's weather report.
After more than a decade of waiting, daily rated public sector workers may finally see a breakthrough.
The Chief Personnel Officer has tabled a formal 10% wage offer to the NUGFW, an agreement that could close the chapter on outstanding negotiations.
As Otto Carrington tells us in this report, the wage settlement will cost $2.6 billion, but will be paid through cash and non-cash benefits.
The long-standing wage negotiations between the state and daily rated public sector workers have moved significantly closer to resolution on Monday, as the CPO Dr. Darrell Dindial confirmed a formal 10% wage offer to the National Union of Government and Federated Workers. The offer mirrors agreements already reached with other public sector unions, including the PSA, and it is structured as 1% annually from 2014 to 2018, followed by a 5% in 2019. Last November, the PSA, representing 15,000 workers, signed off on a 10% offer, costing the government $3.8 billion in back pay and added roughly $214 million to annual expenses. The agreement also includes a consolidation of COLA on 2 occasions, with COLA increasing from $9 to $11 by the end of 2019. With optimism of signing the agreement with the union this week, Dr. Dindial said the payments will be cash and non-cash for the workers.
The value of this offer is $2.6 billion. It's a significant value because it's 12 years we've calculated this to be. In addition, the average percentage increase across the board with COLA consolidation is about 13.5%, and as much as 14.5 to 15% in some occasions for some of the grades. The recurrent expenditure is $250 million per annum. What is going to occur now is that the President General of the NUGFW and his charges will meet to discuss the offer. I've asked them to return to the table, hopefully with a yes.
If the agreement is signed this week, Dr. Dindial confirmed that new salary rates would be implemented after the mid-year fiscal review with the support of the Minister of Finance, as the adjustments were not previously budgeted. NUGFW President General Christopher Street said the union was encouraged by the scale of the proposal, particularly after years of economic strain on daily rated workers. The union has the largest number of members in the country at 17,000. Street said the proposed increase represents a new chapter for daily rated workers, many of whom last received minimal wage adjustments. He welcomed the 10% offer. He admitted, though, that minor issues remain and would be reviewed internally before any agreement is finalized.
Well, I don't want to preempt because, remember, a union is a democratic organization. And while I'm the President General, you see them people there? They have a say. And we will be going to continue with the conversation. And once they say they're good with it, I will call you and tell you, come and witness the signing. And it is my hope that it will be sooner rather than later.
Once the NUGF signs off, there will be no outstanding public service negotiations. Supporting the NUGFW, NATUC General Secretary Michael Anisette said he is here to ensure the workers get what is just.
It's about what is fair, what is just, what is reasonable, and what speaks to social justice in order to ensure that the cracks in the social fabric is addressed. And the first way to address that is to have meaningful and living wages for the workers.
The agreement is estimated at approximately $1 billion in cash, and the CPO's office has proposed spreading the payments over 2 financial years, about $500 million per year, to reduce the immediate impact on public finances. Otto Carrington, CNC3 News.
After the announcement, Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur told CNC3 News he's awaiting the finalization of the negotiations.
He says he expects that all negotiations will include discussions about a mixture of cash and non-cash components as part of the payment structure. The minister will be the one to pilot the increase in the mid-year budget review later this year. Government has completed the issuance of a $1 billion U.S. sovereign bond in the United States market, a move the Finance Ministry says reflects strong investor confidence in the country's credit policy direction.
In a statement today, the ministry confirmed that the bond issuance was completed on January 22nd and was oversubscribed. Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur described the transaction as a clear endorsement of the government's economic stewardship. According to the ministry, the transaction represents the largest bond issuance by Trinidad and Tobago in the past 10 years and generated the largest order book in the last 5 years at $2.4 billion U.S., despite the country facing 2 negative rating outlooks. Well, still to come in the news, Prime Minister holds firm on immigrant fees as thousands hit the registration site, but not all were successful.
The Chief Secretary lays down the law as THA secretaries take their oath of office.
Coming up in sport, Kevin Molino, Jovan Jones and company lead a Defence Force route over ranges in the TTPFL.
This is your captain. Welcome to Carib country. Feel the vibration. Carib. Feel Carib in me hand. Feel I jumping in a band, no matter the weather. Hey, say we don't care. Just give me some soca and I call Carib. Carib, feel it.
Confirmation tonight from Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar that there will be no chance of a snap local government election.
It comes as the People's National Movement is set to open nominations next month, a move political scientist Dr. Bishnu Raghunath says is both proactive and strategic. During the party's General Council meeting on Saturday, it was announced that nominations will first be accepted from electoral districts that are not under the PNM's control. The local government election is due in 2027. And already councillors have reportedly been seen conducting walkabouts in their electoral districts. Dr. Raghunath told CNC3 News the move is entirely within the party's discretion, noting that whether the PNM sees it fit and relevant to invite nominations at this stage is a matter of internal strategy.
They know full well the uphill task that they face in those electoral districts. And if they know that uphill task, then they put in their prospective candidates on the ground now may very well allow people to get accustomed with these people and let these people also serve as shadow councillors.
According to political analyst Dr. Shane Mohammed, the exercise will allow the party's political leader, Penelope Beckles, to put her stamp on the exercise and step out of the shadows of its previous leader, Dr. Keith Rowley.
They got accustomed to the bullying aspect, the dismissive part of Keith Rowley that they all embodied and they all enjoyed. Beat down Persad-Bissessar, tell she the worst thing, insult and dismiss her. That's not Penny Beckles' attitude. That is not her demeanor. That is not her approach. And the quicker they accept that and allow the lady the time to observe them and their foolishness and the misbehavior that has been allowed to happen over the years, the better they will heal. That's the realities they face.
In light of the PNM's preparations for the next local government elections, Michaela Pandey confirms that discussions were also progressing within her party, the Patriotic Front.
Norman Dindial, the interim political leader of the National Transformation Alliance, told CNC3 News that nothing was off the table, indicating that collaboration may be considered in the future. He also stated that the party's internal organization and strategy were being evaluated.
Well, after two resounding defeats in back-to-back elections, a party at a crossroads is tonight celebrating 70 years of existence. PNM faithful are gathered at Queen's Hall to mark the milestone.
Therese Polo is there to bring us this report. Therese?
Good evening, everyone. Now, it was a bit of a late start to the 70th anniversary that the People's National Movement is hosting at Queen's Hall. But what I can tell you is that in spite of that, it's a pretty well-attended event. More than 600 people already here on a Monday evening to celebrate the oldest party in Trinidad and Tobago's political history, founded by Dr. Eric Williams. And to speak about that legacy and the way forward, we are joined by party PRO, Faris Al-Rawi. Thank you so much for joining us. Good evening.
Thank you very much. We've just crossed 650. We're headed up to 700 with more people coming in. It's a Monday afternoon, now evening, and we're very happy at the turnout. We just had huge standing ovation for the arrival of our political leader. It's our 70th anniversary, folks, and it's the first time that we've had a female political leader. I know time is short, but this is a momentous occasion for us. Just to remind you that the PNM has won 12 out of 16 general elections.
But I want to ask you, now, as you mentioned elections, the party just lost two very critical ones. What are your thoughts on the state of the political party after suffering such defeats?
Sure. Well, I've been there since 2010 in the front line of the PNM. I can tell you now, when the UNC won in 2010 with 29 seats, now with 28, the PNM had lost over 150,000 votes that voted with the UNC. On the 2025 general election, we had a stay-home campaign effectively against us. We paid the price. Democracy was well at work. I think that the party has, by this attendance and by what we've been seeing in the last 9 months, has demonstrated that there is significant buyer's remorse. So we've accepted our defeat there. In Tobago is not the first time that the PNM has lost an election there. There were years that we had one person in the THA. The party is on its ascendancy. The voter margins were tight in some areas. It still is a loss, but I can tell you as a person who was there in 2010 and now in 2026 that the resurgence of the party just 9 months into a new government's term is exceptional. There's been significant turnout, and people under a state of emergency having professed that they're afraid to express themselves. With a new Prime Minister 2.0 that is unrecognizable to most people, I think you're going to see a lot happen in March, just after Carnival has settled and the state of emergency is over. I think that people will begin to speak up in much more significant tones.
I want to ask, looking to local government elections and the party's readiness, the Prime Minister today said there will be no early election, there will be no bringing up of the date for local government elections. What's the party's response to that?
Well, the Prime Minister has given us no gift by saying that. The Section 11(4) of the Municipal Corporations Act says what the term is and when it ends. So that is, please, don't be distracted by thinking she can call a snap election without amending the law. It's a 4-year term. The party will be ready. We've run in every seat, every election, every time. What's going on in local government is a disaster. There's been a massive underfunding of the local government in the PNM corporations, up to 100% increases in the UNC. And for the Prime Minister to say that it is bad management, well then how does she explain that under the PNM government, certainly when I was there, having raised the subvention by 100% in my term, she called it lack of money. She's cut it by 50 to 75% in the PNM areas, giving Port of Spain $4 million to run the whole of Port of Spain on one aspect of its critical budgeting. It is ridiculous. And the people of this country are noticing that the dump that she has celebrated Trinidad to be is as a result of the underfunding of local government, the lack of releases, and that we are seeing significant points. I warn that Carnival has relied significantly on CPEP and URP in the past. If you drive around our cities right now, they do not look the ready state to welcome visitors as it should be. Grass is high. underfunding of areas. We call upon the Prime Minister to do much better to not punish the capital, the East-West corridor, and certainly San Fernando, where I stand.
Because we are so quickly running out of time, I have one critical question for you as a former Attorney General. We recently saw a video circulating on social media which revealed the final moments of an individual who lost his life in a police shooting. Could you give us some insight onto how a matter like this should be handled? Because the police service is saying there's an active investigation, but there's some doubt among a population that is frustrated with continued police-involved shootings, where we hear from the TTPS itself that it was an exchange of gunfire, and in this case we are seeing evidence that it may not have been.
So quite simply, we're debating in the Senate tomorrow, giving soldiers police powers. We heard the Commissioner of Police say one thing, which has turned out from the video evidence to be apparently something else. So there is a huge question mark, not only about the exercise of police powers, but God forbid that you were to give the Army police powers under the zones of special operations, where they answer to the Minister of National Security. The Constitution does not contemplate a Prime Minister calling the Army into law enforcement. We are headed towards a militarization of state. We accept that Army may be used in aid of support. It's why we have called for the use of body cameras, particularly in zones. But what is really required is an enforcement of balance. You have to have the constitutional safeguards in place. The police killings, we call again for the use of the body cameras. We have over 2,000 body cameras available right now that can be used, and there is no excuse why they are not on. The Police Complaints Authority will deal with the rest of it. Trinidad is not like Jamaica. In Jamaica, the police and army don't share the same powers.
Yeah.
And in Jamaica, they have the INDICOM, which supervises the army.
Well, I'm sure we will be able to hear more of that contribution in tomorrow's debate. Senator Faris Arawi, PNM PRO, joining us here. And we are out of time, but we will have more for you in tomorrow's Guardian newspaper. Until then, it's Doris Polo, CNC3 News, Port of Spain.
All right, thank you so much, Doris, covering the PNM's 70th anniversary at Queen's Hall.
All right, Fali Augustine wasted little time getting down to business today as he unveiled his choices for secretaries to lead the Tobago House of Assembly's divisions.
Using the swearing-in ceremony to lay out expectations, the Chief Secretary publicly tasked those responsible for youth, community development and employment with clear deliverables. Akash Samaru has more.
The election is well and truly over. Now the governing begins. TPP elected representatives have now been sworn in as secretaries, trading party colours for the mandate of serving the entire island.
So today, we put the leadership structure in place to turn vision into action, plans into progress, and promises into performance.
Fali Augustine did not wait for a private room to delegate assignments. At the Magdalena Hotel, Augustine made calls for what he sees as priority matters of concern. Firstly, he called on Megan Morrison, Secretary in the Office of the Chief Sec, to appoint a task force to undertake a manpower audit of THA employees. The Chief Sec noted that morale is low because qualified people are being overlooked.
And they sit there and they frown because they see people coming from outside the THA getting the new higher positions, and they are seated there doing tasks for which they are aptly qualified but never called.
To Ian Bollard, his Secretary for Community Development and Social Protection, the Chief Sec said this was one division that he believes is not pulling its weight.
At any given moment that I show up as Chief Secretary, you should be able to tell me where all the disabled people are living in any particular village. You should be able to tell me what is happening for those that are visually impaired or even deaf.
Even newcomer Keegan Denoon, who is now in charge of the renamed and reconstituted Division of Youth Empowerment and Sport, he was given the authority to fire people if necessary to ensure there's no return of the record-high murder rate in 2024.
If, by chance, we have workers, contractors, and service providers that are not doing the task efficiently, then remove them.
The rest of appointed secretaries are as follows. Dr. Faith Brabner remains Secretary of Health and Wellness. The newly created Division of Legal Affairs would be headed by Councillor Adana Aisha Joseph. Petalan Roberts remains Finance Head. Trevor James has been moved to the new Division of Strategic Planning. Darren Henry is Secretary of the Environment. Natisha Charles Pantin heads the Division of Public Transport. Wayne Clark is in charge of Food Security. Zorisha Hackett is now in Tourism. Ricky Jofield heads Housing. And Orlando Kerr is Secretary for Education. Akash Samaru, CNC3 News.
The Energy Chamber has announced a review of its Safe to Work program days after government scrapped the stow requirement.
Its chair, Mala Baliraj, opened the annual event, reaffirming the group's willingness to work with government, adding that it is looking at the Prime Minister's criticisms with a constructive lens.
Keisha Kaules Alonso has more, including stakeholders' outlook for the sector.
Hundreds of energy stakeholders gathered on Monday to chart the industry's future, but not before the leading energy body addressed the scathing criticisms by the Prime Minister days earlier. Last week, the Prime Minister announced that government and state enterprises will not attend this year's conference. She outlined a deep dissatisfaction with the Chamber's Safe to Work program and concerns about fairness and representation within the sector. Addressing delegates on Monday, Chair of the Energy Chamber, Mala Baliraj, acknowledged that some stakeholders do not believe that the Safe to Work program is meeting its original intent to both improve safety standards and to facilitate the ability of smaller local contractors to pre-qualify with major operator companies.
It has at times served as a barrier to their ability to do business with major operators. We note that and acknowledge the same in the 2025 chairperson's opening speech, where the concern of cost associated with consulting advice and training of staff for certification was highlighted with the aim of resolving. Given the clear position of the Honourable Prime Minister and Minister of Energy, this configuration of contractor safety management certification and the contractor pre-qualification will not be maintained in its current construct.
But stow was not the only issue, as Baliraj confronted another long-standing industry criticism that the Chamber's agenda is shaped by multinational corporations and a small circle of local companies. While she insisted that membership is diverse, spanning nearly 400 companies, she conceded that the Chamber must do more to prove that every voice is represented fairly.
Given the current perception, we clearly have to do better. We need to ensure that the perception is not in fact driven by reality. So, to ensure that the perception does not persist, we will review our internal governance to recommit to fair and balanced representation with broad-based engagement of our membership and our critical external stakeholders.
Pointing to a brighter future, Baliraj noted projects that would soon come into active execution, including Woodside BP Calypso Deepwater Gas Project, BPTT's Frangipani, and Perenco's Onyx Field projects. In response to the Chamber's promises, the Prime Minister told CNC3 News she will await to see what the Chamber actually does in the coming months. In noting that the Prime Minister has a duty to the country, CEO of Ramps Logistics, Sean Rampersad, who spoke on a panel during the conference, said there are certain pockets in the energy sector which have done really well with regards to local content, but at the same time noted that some service companies have not been able to do well in Trinidad.
A lot of the success of Rams has been outside of Trinidad, and to be very honest with you, I feel like a lot of the times when you invest as a local service provider and you go into work with a lot of these multinationals, the local service companies have this big additional challenge of dealing with global multi-service agreements.
Meanwhile, there's a positive outlook for TNT's production of oil and gas. Gerard Rystad of Rystad Energy Company forecast an upsurge in oil and gas output for TNT in 2027 a stark contrast, he said, compared to 2018. Geisha Cobles-Alonso, CNC3 News.
Thank you very much, Keisha. Let's check in with Jean-Marc now to see what's coming up in the weather.
We had an initially sunny day with showers developing as the morning progressed. However, they quickly dissipated by mid-afternoon to give us a mostly fair evening. I'll let you know what's in the forecast for this week coming up just after the break.
The FIFA World Cup is coming, and all eyes are on Lamine Yamal.
You like it?
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best market around. High quality meats pound for pound. Get the best for less. Start shopping. Go to Southern Food Basket. Shopping how you like it. High quality at the best prices. Every aisle just right and special. So spend less at Southern Food Basket. Good food at great prices for sure. Come get what you're looking for.
With the cold and flu lurking around every corner, keeping your immune system strong allows you to live the life that you want every day. Discover BioStrath Immune Health. BioStrath Immune Health is a unique plasmalized yeast product that enhances the absorption of essential micronutrients, ensuring that your body stays resilient. And now enriched with zinc, it is your go-to support for immunity. Staying vibrant and healthy just became a whole lot easier. BioStrath Immune Health. Get what you need naturally.
Panadol's new formula. 5 times faster than other paracetamol brands. There's no time to waste during special moments. When I need fast pain relief, I choose Panadol Rapid. With its new formula and exclusive technology, it's 5 times faster than other paracetamol, giving me effective pain relief. And it's also gentle on my stomach. Because my greatest gift is giving them special moments.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Get the best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Basket. Anchor cheddar and vegetarian cheese, 250 grams, 2 for $44.95. Golden brand margarine, 227 grams, 3 for $19.95. Wings, 1 kg, $29.95. Protect soap, 3-pack, $18.95. Colgate Great Regular Flavor, 4 ounces, 2 for $29.95. Soft and Pretty bathroom tissue, 12-pack for $18.95. Offers available while stocks last.
Before you take your omega-3 supplement, check for the natural product number NPN on the label. This unique code shows that Jameson products have approved rigorous Health Canada testing for safety and effectiveness. Unlike some supplements that carry disclaimers like not approved by the FDA, Jameson omega-3 is the trusted choice, offering 1800 milligrams of EPA and DHA for heart health. Choose quality. Choose Jameson.
Move from CXC to your business management degree in just over 2 years with the globally and ACTT recognized ABE qualification at CTS College. Students with limited CSEC passes or mature candidates with work experience can enroll. Each level can be completed in under 6 months, with a diploma awarded upon completion of each level and a bachelor's degree awarded at the end of the entire program. Contact CTS College today and ask about our flexible payment terms.
This Saturday, Center of Excellence Car Park, we celebrate 10 years of Choker. Live on stage, Michelle Montano. Full blown. Lady Lava.
For nothing in this world, I say I can't pick a good man.
Ravi B, Nisha B, and Karma.
She love the roti, she love the choker.
Young Brother.
Hey! And give me inch by inch.
And it's Samaru. Savita Singh. Master Salim, Orlando Octave, Viking Ding Dong, KI, Super Blue, Rowty Ramru, Iowa George, Drupati, and more. General tickets, $250. For more information, call 498-1698. This Saturday, Center of Excellence Car Park, 10 years of Choka.
I love Choka.
The Prime Minister says outfitting police officers with body cameras is a step towards rebuilding public trust in the service. Her comments follow last weekend's fatal police shooting in St. Augustine that left one man dead and his common-law wife hospitalized.
Tonight, the family has started its own investigation as the police commissioner defends his officers, saying he has reviewed the evidence and found no basis to suspend or place any of the officers involved on administrative leave. Annalisa Paul reports.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar says outfitting police officers with body cameras is a step in the right direction, one she believes will help to rebuild public confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago police service. Her comments come in the wake of last weekend's fatal police shooting in St. Augustine. 31-year-old Joshua Samaru was killed during what police described as a shootout. His common-law wife, 28-year-old Kaya Seeley, was shot several times and remains paralyzed at hospital. Deputy Commissioner of Police Suzette Martin visited Seeley at the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex today to check on her condition. Sources told CNC3 News the incident stemmed from a sting operation gone wrong. Investigators say Samaru fled after recognizing an undercover officer in Maloney, sparking a high-speed chase that ended in gunfire. Both the Professional Standards Bureau and the Police Complaints Authority are now probing the shooting. Samaru's father, Christopher Samaru, confirms that the family has commenced its own probe of what transpired. They spent Monday canvassing the area where he was killed for footage. But that did not stop him from issuing this call to the police commissioner, Alista Guevara, to ensure those responsible are held to account.
Mr. Commissioner, I'm saying it again, get your act together, because you will have a very, very, very sleepless night if this thing don't come out to be the truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
The police commissioner has since extended condolences to the family and confirmed that officers from the Victim and Witness Support Unit had been dispatched to meet with the family. He, however, denied the incident was an abuse of police power and more so under the existing state of emergency. Overwhelmed by the outpouring of public support and the offer by communities willing to protest against similar police action in their areas, Samaru called for cool heads to prevail and urged persons not to break the law. A female resident of St. Paul Street, East Dry River, said they are concerned that they too could suffer similar fate at the hands of the police.
It is total injustice. That is execution style. We need justice. We're calling for justice for the family. We're calling for the Prime Minister, for the Minister of National Security to come out and give the public answers, because this video went worldwide. Had it not been for that video, they would have said anything and got away with it.
Residents in East Dry River say they face similar police action in their community and have described the zones of special operations as oppressive and unfair to the poor. The PCA is urging anyone with information to come forward. As investigations continue, the Prime Minister says she will wait for the official findings before commenting further on the shootings. Annalisa Paul, CNC3 News.
A massive winter storm blanketed much of the United States over the weekend. The record-breaking snowfall brought freezing temperatures to the northeast.
For many travelers and residents, the winter wonderland quickly became a logistical nightmare for many. CNC3 News spoke with several TNT nationals currently in the U.S. for this report.
New York, the city that never sleeps, was forced to a standstill on Sunday. For Avion Leonard, what was meant to be a quick trip for a family funeral turned into an extended stay when her Monday night flight home was grounded.
All the flights got cancelled. So, it was kind of a bit of stress because I have the kids back home that, I have to find people to help, with the pickups. So, so that was a kind of struggle. But luckily I was able to get that help and I got a flight back. It's going to be Thursday Thursday afternoon.
While visitors like Avion wait for the skies to clear, others like recent graduate Nicole Sanka are finding creative ways to keep the biting cold out of his home.
You know, you open the weather up and you see like minus 15 wind chill. It's like, you know, I do not want to be outside. The only thing I had to do extra, there's a bit of a draft that comes in from like my window. So I just kind of like tape up the sides to like kind of insulate it because the draft is severe. Like the wind is it's crazy this week. So that helps to keep the apartment warm. Another thing is like I cook, so I made soup. Just like having stuff on the stove or like making something in the oven helps to keep the place warm and comfortable.
Former weather anchor Khalil Hussain has seen many systems like this before, but says this particular storm caught many by surprise with the snowfall.
I think the final total for the amount of snow that fell in Central Park on Manhattan was around 11 to 12 inches, which would be really high for the last couple of years. I think the last time Manhattan had this amount of snow would be back in 2022. I needed to get some carrots on Friday, and the line in the grocery store wrapped around the store because everyone else was getting multiple cases of water and milk and bread, like if that was going to stop the snow. And that was the case I saw across the entire United States.
And Khalil's advice for any Trimegonians planning a trip during the winter months: don't just pack any old jacket.
So look at your weather forecast from either the National Weather Service, your favorite weather app. The temperatures are brutal, so you're going to have to get thermals, ski socks, beanies, gloves, a thick winter coat that can match right now.
So while we enjoy the warmth of the carnival season here in Sweet TNT, others have to brave the bitter cold conditions in the northern latitudes.
They're so glad I'm in Trinidad.
Yeah, brutal at the end with that carnival clip.
Very. It's definitely a deadly storm, but luckily we're here in warm TNT, right? We're expecting some dry conditions soon. Let's take a look at the satellite. Now, we had some showers today, but generally much drier conditions compared to yesterday. We can see a lot of those clouds have moved off to the west into the Caribbean Sea, and to our east we have some drier air moving in, and that's likely to be the case for the majority of the island chain into tomorrow. So the forecast for tonight, mostly fair despite the odd shower favoring Tobago and eastern areas of Trinidad. Overnight lows of 21 in Trinidad and 23 over in Tobago. Tomorrow we can expect mostly sunny and breezy conditions despite a few brisk showers which are expected to move along pretty quickly. It'll also be a bit warmer than the last few days with a high of 32 degrees Celsius. Afterwards we can expect a mostly fair evening. Seas are on the higher end of moderate, especially since we're expecting some breezy conditions tomorrow. Waves in open waters can get up to 2.5 meters, which is borderline rough, and waves in sheltered areas are less than 1 meter. Winds are expected to be out of the east-northeast at 15 to 20 knots. Now, given the conditions, all marine interests should exercise just a bit extra caution. Looking ahead, just a few showers tomorrow, and Wednesday will likely be the driest day for the week, but then on Thursday the chance of rainfall increases, and that elevated chance will continue into the weekend. Right, so now we've seen a lot of videos about the winter storm in the United States, but let's take a look at some of the figures. Now, this was a deadly storm, claiming at least 20 lives across 10 states and leaving 1 million households without power at its peak over the weekend. It was also a travel nightmare with 12,000 cancellations yesterday and 4,000 today. And of course, the record-breaking snow and ice which made daily tasks nearly impossible, as trees, power lines, and even roofs buckled under the weight of the water in its various forms. Up to 31 inches of snow was recorded in New Mexico, while upstate New York had just under 2 feet. So definitely enjoying our warm conditions here.
Yeah, but praying and hoping that everyone who is experiencing that winter storm be okay.
Definitely, New York City has a very good emergency management system, so they're in good hands.
All right, thank you so much, John Mark. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
This week, the Review 10 continues with Ladies' Night, Thursday, January 29th. 2 persons on 1 ticket. Admission $350. Friday, January 30th, it's Judges' Night. Admission $200. And Saturday, January 31st, it's the Calypso Review 10 stars on full display. With Sugar Aloes along with the Review stars. Pink Panther, Skatey, Devon Seal, Singing Sonia, Michelle Henry, Mighty Diamond, Saint Nick, Nicole Grace, Mace, JD, Fire Tender, Sasha and Moses, Tempo, Kurt Allen, Nisa, Alana Sinette, Lackerman, Organizer, Orlando Octave. From Barbados, Mighty Gabby. Your MCs, Marcus Batiste, Tommy Joseph, and the Chairman. Tickets at the Review 10 box office, SWWTU Hall. This is your opportunity to experience the Calypso Review tent. For info, call 797-5850. Calypso Review. This is what Calypso is all about.
Your immune system is your first line of defense. Discover BioStrath Immune Health. BioStrath Immune Health is enriched with zinc, ensuring that your body stays resilient. BioStrath Immune Health. Get what you need naturally.
Passage to Asia, ultra premium all-inclusive. St. Andrews Golf Club Car Park, Mocha Marabal. Sunday, 1st February 2026 from 4 p.m. On stage, we are bringing to you Nyla Blackman, Raymond Randorine, and Dylan Adan. The Camtasia with the All-Stars Band featuring Viking Ding Dong, College Boy Jassy, and Alnika Berry. Unlimited drinks, over 40 dishes to tantalize your taste buds. Get your tickets online at Island E-Tickets, all regular outlets, or call 742-4309 or 685-8697.
Get the best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Baskets. Gala apples, 10 for $20. Tyson chicken leg quarters, 11 pounds, $94.95. Sunland chicken breast, 4 pounds, $94.95. Forte Frost straight cut fries, 2 for $69.95. Swiss spouch ketchup, 2 for $19.95. Swiss macaroni and spaghetti, 400 grams, 4 for $19.95. Swiss lasagna, 2 for $23.95. Aquapure, 330 ml, 5 cases for $90. Offers available while stocks last.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order. Gaming Express Limited is a premium importer and retailer of the highest quality brand name electronics. We stock the widest range of PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Samsung, and Apple devices and accessories. Visit us at Shop 52, Level 2, Gulf City Mall in San Fernando, or contact us by phone or WhatsApp message at 687-7480 or 301-9797 or 798-1280. Like our Facebook and Instagram pages for updates on products and services.
At Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center, we're all about time. In fact, once you check in, there's no time to lose. Reconnect with a little family time. Make a splash with some pool time. Spend some treasured quality time. Or just immerse yourself in some quiet time. Indulge your senses at dinner time. We even have the perfect venue when it's your celebration time. So it's high time you visit Cruise Inn. Choose our day pass or call 607-4000 to make your dinner or hotel reservations or to find out more about our event spaces. Take a time out at Cruise Inn Hotel and Yachting Center.
Prime Minister Kamla Prasad-Visesa says there will be no reduction in immigrant registration fees, even as more than 1,600 migrants have already engaged the online system. Registration opened at midnight on January 26, and by 1 p.m., the website had recorded more than 137,000 hits. Just under 600 applications were fully completed, while over 1,600 were started but left incomplete. However, the high traffic coincided with reports of technical problems as immigrants turned to cyber cafes and advocates for help. Cyber cafe operator Fenton Barreto says while he agrees with some aspects of the registration, he felt the process could have been smoother.
Well, the 1 month allotted from the government, I think it's fair, but it's a bit disappointing that it's not working on the first day. So I'm a bit disappointed in that regard.
Advocate Angie Ramnarine warned that the glitches could discourage participation.
I think more needs to be done to encourage all sectors of the migrant community to come out, because I think this is so important for our data collection.
Well, online registration closes on February 25th with in-person interviews set for after Carnival. Up to news time, the site remained active.
It is now time for sport with Jassy Marique. Jassy, after weeks of uncertainty, finally some good news in cycling.
Yeah, we are all relieved to see that the Pan American Championship team has been named, and it looks a strong one. Sprinters José Philip, Macairo Wallace and Nicholas Paul will headline, but men's endurance racing history is also set to be made. And regionally, we sampled some action from the CONCACAF Women's Under-17 competition. Stick around, we'll be back with sport.
Southern Food Basket. Quality food to fill your basket. Get it all at Southern Food Basket. Fresh goods on every aisle with best prices. For the best market around. High quality meat pound for pound. Get the best for let's start shopping. Go to Southern Food Basket. Shopping how you like it. High quality at the best prices. Every aisle just wide and special. So spend less at Southern Food Basket. Good food at great prices for sure. Come get what you're looking for.
We are your one-stop, most convenient, most helpful, most caring community pharmacy. Our pharmaceutical services include dispensing medicines, repeat dispensing, clinical governance. But we also have a fully stocked convenience store featuring our refreshment aisle, grocery lane, personal care products, toys, pet supplies. We are most conveniently located out of the traffic, just 2 minutes off the highway in Heartland Plaza in Deba Shaguanas. Contact us on 220-8705 or 470-5938 and visit us soon.
Struggling with blood sugar swings, high blood pressure, or stiff joints? Take control with Aja Nutrition's powerful wellness trio. Berberine Plus supports healthy blood sugar. Blood pressure support helps keep your pressure in check. And Joint Aid keeps your joints moving so you can stay active every day. Don't wait. Choose Aja Nutrition for trusted, effective solutions. Available at Pennywise and leading pharmacies nationwide. Feel better, move better, live better with Aja Nutrition.
Dress like you mean business. At The Working Woman, we bring you stylish, professional looks made for the modern woman. From casual to formal workwear, we've got your professional wardrobe covered.
Get the best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Baskets. Anchor cheddar and vegetarian cheese, 250 grams, 2 for $44.95. Golden brand margarine, 227 grams, 3 for $19.95. Wings, 1 kg, $29.95. Protect soap, 3-pack, $18.95. Colgate Great Regular Flavor, 4 ounces, 2 for $29.95. Soft and Pretty bathroom tissue, 12-pack for $18.95. Offers available while stocks last.
Welcome back. It's time for sport. West Indies coach Darren Sammy says he believes that, like in 2016, something special will happen for the West Indies at the upcoming T20 World Cup. Sammy made the comments as his team for the next month's competition was revealed today. Ian Wason has that story.
We go into India and I'm pretty sure nobody gives us a chance. And it was the same in 2016. So we have our quiet confidence in the dressing room. There's an energy that is telling me something special is about to happen.
At long last, the West Indies T20 World Cup team has been named, and it's one that has head coach Darren Sammy excited. Among the 15 names, Quinton Sampson is the only rookie, earning his place after debuting with a top score 30 against Afghanistan last week. Fast bowler Alzavi Joseph has not recovered from a back injury that caused him to miss tours of Bangladesh, India and New Zealand in the latter half of 2025. There is no room, however, for Amir Jangu, who gives way to the veteran opener Johnson Charles, who is also expected to serve as the backup wicketkeeper. Evan Lewis, who was also involved against Afghanistan, is also not selected for the World Cup, along with Alec Anthony's. Sammy explained why they have both been overlooked in favour of Sampson.
If you look at the balance of the squad, we have 3 openers. We have the middle order batsmen in Shimron, Rovman and Shofain. And we needed someone in that middle period who has that ability to challenge the spin like Sampson did in the CPL.
Sammy, who captained the team to its 2 previous world titles in 2012 and 2016, made comparisons with those teams and the current one.
Coach Griff is working tirelessly to get the guys, just doing the basics. Fielding is an attitude. And the attitude I saw over the last 2 days since this squad has been here towards fielding, that's how I know.
West Indies will open against Scotland, who replaced Bangladesh as the latter team refused to play in India, one of the hosts of the global tournament. Ian Wason, CNC3 Sport.
Well, Sammy will have his chance to put his World Cup team to the test with a 3-match T20 series against South Africa starting on Tuesday. At today's pre-match press conference, West Indies captain Shea Hope expressed enthusiasm to be back with the team, having missed last week's series defeat to Afghanistan.
It's great prep. Anytime you're playing against quality opposition, whether it's with bat or ball, you can never, disregard what that can benefit for a team. So I think the way how Shafrin's been batting, the rest of the guys been chipping in different areas. So good prep, but still conditions may be slightly different, just about adapting as best as we can. And we've got a few more weeks to finalize certain fine-tune certain things that we want to. But I think the guys are in good spirits and it's time to get cracking again.
Despite recent results, Hope said the team is progressing nicely.
If you saw the recent success in New Zealand, we had some good success in India. When you look at from a batting perspective, we talk about the batters not getting big scores, but I think in the last Test Championship cycle, maybe it could be corrected. I don't think we had too many hundreds, but this one we've got quite a few already. So there's certainly some improvement that's being shown, especially from a batting standpoint.
Football now, defending TTPFL champs Defence Force put on a masterclass at the Atterbolden Stadium on Sunday, hammering Rangers to stay top of the league. Carsten Cupid has those highlights and a full roundup of the latest from the competition.
When Defence Force took to the field to take on Terminix La Hocketa Rangers at the Atterbolden Stadium on Sunday, no one knew the onslaught that was about to transpire. 12 minutes, retired TNT midfielder Kevin Molino laid it on a platter for the Army's new signing Jobin Jones to score his first goal in Defence Force colours. Jones picked out Jamali Garcia in the 16th to make it 2-0 to the Soldiers. When Rivaldo Koyat made it 3-0 in the 21st, Josiah Perez was already having a turbulent time in the Rangers' goal. Head coach Dave Cormina decided enough was enough and introduced Darren Moore, who saw the remainder of the first half. However, like his last name suggests, there was more to come. Nicholas Dillon sullied Moore's clean sheet with his first of the night in the 47th. 2 minutes later, Jones got his brace, sharing an almost telepathic link-up with his best friend Molino. Molino got his own name on the scorer's sheet with a cheeky finish in the 61st. 6-0 now the score. Jones' hat-trick goal wasn't far behind. 7-0 to Defence Force with 29 minutes still left. Molino marked a hat-trick of assists when Nicholas Dillon headed home, his second of the night. The big forward secured his hat-trick in injury time. 9-0 the flogging ended. Sunday's first match was a tussle between second-place Club Sando in the orange and third-place Police FC. The Southerners started the hungry of the two, hitting the post in the early exchanges. Their persistent pressure paid off in the 22nd minute when Tariq Lee's glancing header gave Club Sando the lead. Police tried on either side of the half to draw level. Their best effort had Club Sando's Tishon Ragu at full stretch. He was brilliant throughout as Club Sando held on for the 1-0 win. With that and other results, the Soldiers stayed top of the standings with 36. Club Sando has 33, Police is third with 27, while Prison sits fourth with 26. AC Port of Spain has 22 and Central rounds off the top half. On the bottom end, the Rangers has 9 points with Point Fortin and Eagles just above. Phoenix, Cali and Sawa are flirting dangerously with the relegation zone. Carsten Cupid, CNC3 Sport.
Well, there are no surprise inclusions or exclusions in the Trinidad and Tobago cycling team to the Pan American Track Championships next month in Chile. The trio of Nicholas Paul, Josein Phillip and Macairo Wallace are the headline acts in the 13-member team, according to the Trinidad and Tobago, or rather a Trinidad and Tobago Cycling Federation source. Phillip and Wallace were at the center of a legal challenge against the TTCF over national trials, which eventually came off on January 17th. Alexi Costa Ramirez was also involved in in that legal matter and is included in a strong TNT team for the event in Chile. Endurance riders Akil Campbell, Tyreek Woods, Liam Trepty and Jadian Neves could make history for TNT at the Games, as they are expected to form TNT's first ever quartet in the team pursuit event. The Point-A-Pair Golf Club Limited's three-day open concluded in fine fashion on Sunday, bringing down the curtain on a highly competitive tournament. The championship flight delivered the drama as young Russ Ramkissoon produced a composed final round to edge defending champion Liam Bryden by a single stroke. Ramkissoon finished with a three-round aggregate score of 217 to lift the overall tournament trophy. Bryden settled for second on 218, and Russ Cabral completed the podium with a total of 233. In the first flight, Adam Green was the champion with a score of 245 ahead of Shiva Arjun Singh and Brian Farras. Victoria Sinath was the ladies' champion with 238, beating Isabella Ramdeen, who had 251, and Haley Lane was third with 254. Now let's take a look at what's happening around the region.
Round 1 of the 2026 CONCACAF Under-17 Women's Qualifiers continued on Sunday, with action across Group C, D and E. In Group C, Guatemala edged the Cayman Islands 1-0 with the game's only goal scored by Emery Aguilar in the 85th minute. Haiti cruised past Antigua and Barbuda 6-1, led by a brace from Keisha Gay. Group D saw Jamaica and Guyana draw 1-1, with Nicolette Prendergast's item for Jamaica cancelling out the earlier goal scored by Alex Audrey Charles for the Guyanese. Honduras assumed the lead in the group, defeating Aruba 3-1, with Alexandra Merriam scoring twice for the winners. And in Group E, Cuba outlasted Grenada 4-3, powered by a 4-goal performance from Yaiselis Lopez. Costa Rica sent a strong message, thrashing the British Virgin Islands 16-0. Nubia Medina scored 5 goals in that massive win. In track and field, Jamaica's Brianna Liston produced an impressive run on Saturday at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix in Boston, finishing second in the women's 60 meters. Liston clocked 7.11 seconds as Britain's Dina Asher-Smith took the win, with TNT's Leah Bertrand settling for third. Jamaica's dominance at the meet also saw two-time World Championships gold medalist Danielle Williams reclaim the world lead in the women's 60-meter hurdles, winning in 7.87 seconds. And Akeem Blake sprinted to victory in the men's 60 meters with a season best 6.53 seconds. Samaki Felician, CNC3 Sport.
It's time now for Sport High. Kevin Molino had a hat-trick of assists for Defence Force, providing 2 for fellow attacker Jovin Jones, and the other pinpoint service for Nicholas Dillon diving header. Precision passing at its best. But it's his finishing for his only goal that got him tonight's recognition. Yes, what a cheeky chip. So Kevin Molino, the maestro, you earned tonight's CNC3 Sport High. That's it for sport, guys.
Thank you so much, Jassy. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
Visit Tire Clinic Marketing, New Truck and OTR Tire Service Center at number 30 and 32 Montrose Main Road, Chabonas. Call today at 665-8973 or 672-3419. Alignment services available. Tire Clinic Marketing, Truck and OTR Service Center. A tire for every need.
Get the best back-to-school specials at Southern Food Baskets. Gala apples, 10 for $20. Tyson chicken leg quarters, 11 pounds, $94.95. Sunland chicken breast, 4 pounds, $94.95. Forte Frost Street Cut Fries, 2 for $69.95. Swiss Spout Ketchup, 2 for $19.95. Swiss Macaroni and Spaghetti, 400 grams, 4 for $19.95. Swiss Lasagna, 2 for $23.95. Aquapure, 330 ml, 5 cases for $90. Offers available while stocks last.
With Alive Multivitamins by Nature's Way, you won't be defined by time. You'll own every minute of it. Discover how you can age vibrantly with Alive.
India celebrates its 77th Republic Day with EU leaders in attendance.
The parade and celebration took place in New Delhi and marked the day when the country broke from its colonial past and adopted its constitution, formally becoming a republic. Prime Minister Narendra Modi greeted guests of honor, EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and EU Council President Antonio Costa at the Presidential Palace. And following the festivities, the India-EU summit takes place with a goal to finalize an historic trade pact dubbed by von der Leyen as the mother of all trade deals to increase bilateral trade between the EU and India's 2 billion people.
As we leave you, let's remind you to stay connected with us on our social media platforms.
There you'll find tonight's stories, the latest updates, and exclusive content. And don't forget to pick up a copy of the TNT Guardian newspaper.
We've come to the end of the 7 p.m. news on CNC3. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Maria Rambo.
I'm Ryan Baichu.
I am Jassy Marie.
And I'm John Mark Rampasad. Have a good night.